to make it through to the postseason. As for medi Bayreuth, they've had a tough start to the season, but they've certainly brought it back to life and are still within a chance of progressing through to the playoffs. We are set for another exciting night of Basketball Champions League action here in Patras. And this group has certainly been one that's thrown up plenty of entertainment in the first 9 game days. Here's your schedule for game day 10, as Strasbourg had the surprise loss to Besiktas last night, and then today Klaipeda Oostend started about half an hour ago, and Bologna Olympia tips off in a couple of hours' time. And here are the group standings. As you can see, Bologna sit top of the group. Our teams here this evening: Promitheas Patras sit in 3rd place, and medi Bayreuth sit in 5th. But so much to play for in this group. Outside of Olympia, is anyone's guess who's going to make it through to the playoffs from this one. And that really has been part of the story of medi Bayreuth this season. Tough start to their Basketball Champions League campaign. They lost their first 4 games before winning the next 4 games and then losing in game day 9 to Strasbourg. So it's been an up and down season for them. And here is their roster. And it really is the 1-2 punch of Brooks and Robertson that's provided them with a resurgence. They combined for 49 points in game day 9 against Strasbourg. However, there is one player that's absent from that list that is important, and that's Hassan Martin. That could be an issue. He's picked up a foot injury in the domestic league game against Bamberg recently, and he will be missing today. And they still wait to see exactly how long he will be out of action for Bayreuth. An important part of their roster. Looking across to the home team, who really have had a fairy tale rookie season in Europe. Here's their roster, and Rion Brown has been a big part of that. He's certainly on fire this season. The American is averaging just short of 15 points per game, and really is the beating heart of the Promitheas offense. I expect Meyer to provide some support from the front court. He had a monster 33 points against Oostend in game day 8. How he'd love to replicate that once again here this evening. As we just wait for both teams to be introduced to the crowd in the arena. And in this group, because it's so tight, every single game is absolutely critical. And both of these teams will want to make it through to the playoffs. And medi Bayreuth are going to be introduced to the crowd first. They've certainly had a season of 2 halves, but they've managed to turn it around and get it facing in the right direction now. But they've got plenty of work ahead of them. As I said, this is such a close group. You'd have to say that Bayreuth will want to pick up at least 3 more wins, if not 4, out of their 5 remaining games, if they're to make it through to the postseason playoffs, which really does have to be the ultimate aim for a club like Bayreuth. They reached the quarterfinals last season, which was their first appearance in the Champions League, and how they'd like to better that this season. I'm sure the players are fully focused on that as the home team start to be introduced to the crowd. And it's certainly a fairy tale story for this club. They were playing in the 4th tier of Greek basketball just 4 years ago, and this year sees them enter European competition for the first time. They really were an unknown entity early on, taking teams by surprise across the continent. Several teams have got their number now, and it's been a bit more challenging in the second half of this regular season in the Basketball Champions League. Currently 3rd in the group, and they do look like a strong contender to make it through to the postseason. That said, a loss tonight really drops them back into the chasing group, so they know how critical picking the win up here is for their chances of progressing to the knockout stages of the Basketball Champions League. that's the player introductions out of the way. And the players will exchange gifts, and while they do that, let me take the opportunity to remind you that the best way to stay in touch with all of the Basketball Champions League action is to download the official Basketball Champions League app. It's available on iOS and Android, so there's absolutely no excuses. Grab your smart devices now, be it your tablets or your phones, get it downloaded, and you'll stay up to date with all the latest news and videos and stats and everything you need to know about not just these two teams, but every team competing in the competition this season. Really is a critical part of a warm-up for players. It's more psychological than anything now, as it is for the fans, making sure that they're getting their nutrients before the game, getting their cheering voices in good fettle to make sure that they can support their team as loudly as they possibly can. And seeing plenty of big crowds across Europe, plenty of noise being made as the Basketball Champions League continues to become a bigger and bigger part of these clubs' seasons. And here's our officials: Lorenzo Baldini, Manuel Mazzoni, Ademir Zulapovic from Italy and Bosnia and Herzegovina, respectively. And they'll be making sure everything is above board and to the rulebook on the hardwood this evening. And that young fan there is in for a treat. You have a feeling tonight's game is going to be hotly contested from the opening tip to the final buzzer. And it might be whoever wins the psychological battle comes away with the actual win here this evening. It's going to play a big part in tonight's game, that's for sure. Who controls the emotions and the pressure? There's a starting five for Bayreuth. It's Thomas, Robertson, Stockton, Seifert and Brooks will be their starting five, and there's some big firepower in that starting five for Promitheas to contend with. And Coach Corner will be wanting to get back to winning ways and keep his team in the right direction. As I said, he's managed to turn the ship around. They had a slow start to the season. A few injuries really hampered their pre-season preparations. So really the start of the season was almost their pre-season. So they'll be glad to be getting back to form now. And here's the Promitheas starting five. Lepovi, Geekas, Maya, Brown and Ellis will be the five that take to the floor to start the game for Promitheas. And their coach, Coach Giatsis, will be working hard to make sure he keeps his players' feet on the ground. This has been a great debut season for them in the Basketball Champions League, but it will be all for nothing if they don't make it through to the playoffs. And a win tonight, well, potentially could see them move up a place in the table. It could jump them up into second spot. Strasbourg were upset at home last night against Besiktas, going down by 5 points in that one, which means if Promitheas can win this one by more than 9, it will push them up into second spot with 4 games left to play. In fact, any win, for Promitheas will move them up. And there's Coach Giatsis. Final preparations complete. He knows his team are in for a tough 40 minutes, but a 40 minutes that he knows that they can come out on top with. The last time these two teams met was game day 3, and Promitheas came away with a 5-point win in what was a hotly contested game in Bayreuth. With both teams now on the floor, the mascot is ready. We just have the final checks to be made before we can get this one underway. And Ellis will go up for the tip and win the tip for Promitheas, and we're underway here. Game day 10. Promitheas Patras against medi Bayreuth in the Basketball Champions League. Maya steps in, 2. Short on that one, and the rebound is quickly pulled down and put into the hands of Stockton. For Bayreuth. Gets it back. But the door is closed on him. Thomas now feeds the low post to Seifert. Oh, beautiful old school hook shot. Wonderful use of the pivot in the low post, and Bayreuth will settle some nerves with the early score. Long shot is up and he's fouled. That foul's going to be chalked up to Cassius Robertson. As Rion Brown drew him in. And there's Robertson just coming underneath him ever so slightly. It's a soft foul to give away so early on. But Brown can't make him pay. He misses the first. 82% from the line prior to this evening. Averaging 14.7 points at 3.8 boards. Absolutely critical part of Promitheas this season, but he's missed his first 2 from the line. Manages to convert the final of the 3 attempts though. And it looks like Promitheas are going to try and keep the ball out of the hands of David Stockton. Maybe they see him as the instigator for Bayreuth, and at the moment Robertson is being chased down so hard by Brown. Seifert now back out to Stockton, but it's stolen away. Here come Promitheas to Brown. An easy 2 on the finger roll for Brown, and the intense defense from Promitheas is paying dividends early on. As the drums and the crowd noise ring around the arena, and there's the steal. Wonderful quick hands from Gikas. Feeds it to Brown, and there's no mistaking he's going to hit those kind of shots. Stockton now up over the half for Bayreuth. Inside to Brooks. No good though. Promitheas slow it down. Maya now inside to Brown. Brown looking to go to work against Robertson. A little fadeaway jumper, and that's a problem Robertson's going to have. Picking up that early foul. Kind of lost his get out of jail free card. Pulls up for the 3 though. Too heavy. And the rebound is pulled down by Brooks. And then the long 3 from Stockton is good. And that one will tie the game at 5 apiece. Just about 2 minutes gone here. Ellis now hands it back. Gikas looking to find a lane to get inside. Pulls up for a high arc in mid-range 2. Both teams seem to be reasonably set offensively, scoring early. Seifert now with the fake, turnaround left-hand hook. Just grazes across the front of the rim and off. Brooks looking for the ball in the low post. Spin move, right hand, beautiful, and Promitheas can't afford to give Brooks that kind of look. That's absolutely money in the bank for him. Maya's going to have to put a little bit more body on him than that. Gikas now uses the Ellis screen, not once but twice, floats it up for the loop. A wonderful 2-man basketball there. Big man, little man combo, and it's beautiful to see when you have that synergy with a player, that you read them, you understand them. Inside, Seifert, good control. Wasn't the easiest of passes to handle, and he got his footwork set well when he landed, enabling him to get the score. And once again, we're tied, 9 apiece now. Maya fakes the 3 inside to Ellis, and this time he'll put it down with an easy 2-handed flush. Promitheas getting some inside scores pretty easily at the moment. I have to say they're probably the happier of the 2 teams. Bayreuth having to work a little bit harder for their scores. Promitheas' defense is certainly at a higher intensity than the Bayreuth defense. Maya going to be exploited here by Stockton. Takes a tough long 2, and if he'd only followed his shot, he'd have probably picked up the rebound, but he didn't. So Promitheas will pick up the rebound, and Gikas will slow it down for them. Geekus looking for Brown in the low post, can't feed him straight away. As Robertson's defense is all over him. Geekus inside, and it just opened up for him. No help from the big man. Stockton was expecting Seifert to come across, and Seifert's thrown it away as well, and Lepovi will pick up the rebound, the loose ball. Promitheas in the ascendancy here. Lepovi fakes a three, drives inside, hands it off to Ellis. Ellis looks to go up, but as it's stripped away, Lepovi in the corner pocket. Can't get the three to go, though. Shot clock down to 10. Meyer goes inside, but he's fouled. Stockton going to be called for the foul. Promitheas in control of this one so far. And here's the easy 2 points for Ellis. Baseline ball now for Promitheas. Nice pass to Brown, beautiful little cut. Lost his defender. Robertson got caught in traffic. Robertson looking to return the favour though. Lovely pass, handoff there to Damon Brooks for the jam. And this game's being played at quite a tempo so far. If these teams can keep this up, we're in for an absolute blistering 40 minutes. Behind the back by Geekus, but Stockton stays in front of him. Pass to Ellis, and it's knocked away by Brooks. Brooks will instigate the fast break now, but he's only going to be able to throw it away. He's not the player you really want with the ball in transition. There's the pass from Robertson to him earlier, though. That's exactly where you want Damon Brooks, on the end of an interior pass. He finishes with authority most times. Wait to see who that foul's called on. Is it a second foul on Stockton? I think it might be, and I think that's quite a tough call on David Stockton. Firstly, I don't think the screen was set, and secondly, I don't think the screen was set was because Damon Brooks had shoved the screen in the back to get it out of the way. Meyer, long three. Oh, and drains it. Promitheas now in full control of this one. Their lead is up to 7. A little over 4 minutes of the first quarter remaining, and what a quick first quarter this seems like. Both teams playing well offensively at the moment. Robertson now going to pull the trigger on a three himself. No good this time, though. Promitheas defense was able to react and challenge that three. Brown now looking to back his way down against Robertson. He's going to fade away with a jumper on. That is such a tough shot from Rion Brown, but he's been doing it all season. He really is a player that you don't need to work hard to get him an opportunity. He can create his own space for the shot. Oh, rejected by Lepovi. He's going to be called for goaltending, though. So the 2 points will count from Damon Brooks, and when you're against the ropes like Bayreuth are at the moment, you will take the points from wherever they come, that's for sure. As into the game comes Meisner, and Seifert takes a seat on the bench. 80% from the field, well, from 2 points so far from Promitheas. Bayreuth need to increase the intensity of their defense if they're to take the win in this one. Brown drives inside. Oh, wonderful move once again from Rion Brown, and he's certainly the man who can at the moment. He's up to 11 points personal, yet to miss a shot, 5 from 5 from the field. Brooks now into Meisner. Meisner hands it off to Thomas. Thomas will pull the trigger. He's off target with that one, and the scramble will go to the floor. Wait to see what the call is. Not sure whether it's going to be a jump ball situation or whether there's a foul to be called. Let's have a look. No, it's an absolute scramble. Such a tough one for the officials to call. Although Meisner did seem to clatter in quite hard, as Octavius Ellis will take a seat on the Promitheas bench. going to be on the possession indicator, which after Ellis won the opening tip, points in the favour of Bayreuth. And Dorit will inbound it for Bayreuth. Thomas now. Thomas, little crossover, step back. Can't get it to go, and Promitheas will grab the rebound and look to extend their lead to double digits. Tough move inside, gets it to go. That's a big, big play. Sayed Ellis was determined, that's for sure. Banging his way as he backed his way to the basket. Look at the physicality that he's approaching that with. Draws the foul off Thomas and reverses the layup for 2. Up to 11-point lead, and Sayed Ellis will go to the line for the extra 1. Shooting 63% from the line in the Basketball Champions League this season. 2 times Greek champion with Olympiakos on Alice. How he would love to make that 3 times Greek champion here with Promitheas. And who knows what they can do in the Basketball Champions League this year. On their night, they are absolutely formidable. Thomas now manages to get the pass across to Gregor Hrovat. Inside, nice pass, and Brooks misses the wide open lay-in. Sayed Ellis, oh, what a quick spin. Almost too quick for his own good. And Jerome Halas moves it forward to Salusteros. Jerome Halas now. Hits the 3, and that's perfect timing. Bayreuth were looking a little bit shaky. Their offense had dried up. Well, they're getting another shot to go, and the Promitheas offense is almost unstoppable at the moment. 1:34 left in the first quarter, and a timeout has been called. No real surprise there. Promitheas on the back of that Lopovi 3 lead this one by 12, 28-16 over medi Bayreuth. Let's jump into the Bayreuth timeout. Yeah, I have to agree with Coach Corner there for medi Bayreuth. They have to toughen up defensively. They're giving up way too many easy scores, uncontested shots, both interior shots as well as perimeter shots. And they're not going to come away with the win here on the road unless their defensive intensity raises up quite a few levels, to be honest with you. Ball inbounded to Dorit. Dorit for 3. Oh, he hits himself another 3. You'd think they're challenging him on that one after hitting the one previously. Lopovi now. Into the corner to Langston Hall. Hall looking to feed it inside and does so to Sayed Ellis. He can't get it to go. Basket's waved away. Wait to see who the foul's going to be called on. It's been called on Promitheas. Let's have a closer look at that action, and Sayed Ellis will be annoyed that he didn't get that to go. Waiting to see who that one's called on. We'll bring that one as soon as we can find out. Dorit now. Into the hands of Hrovat. The shot's not good, but the foul is going to be called on Maya. That previous foul was on Lopovi at the other end. Promitheas lead is at 9 points now, and Hrovat will go to the line hoping to reduce that further. 75% from the free throw line so far this season in the BCL. First season with medi Bayreuth, previously played in Slovenia, was Slovenian champion in both 2017 and 2018. Gregor Hrovat. Hall now finds Meyer, hands it back up to Hall, now to Brown. Pulls up for a tough jumper, it's no good, and the high rebound is pulled down by Meisner. Dorit now gets it out to Thomas, no good. Meisner grabs a rebound but can't quite hold on to it. And Hall will advance it quickly for Promitheas. Langston Hall looking to shake up his defenders, trying to wave him away. He's got the mismatch that he wants against Meisner. Pulls up for the long two, comes up short. It's not the shot he should have taken. Got a mismatch. Need to disrupt more than that. Thomas now, long two, gets it to go, and just like that, the end of the first quarter, Bayreuth have brought themselves back into this one. They just trail by 5 points as Promitheas look to run away with it. But after 10 minutes of action, Promitheas Patras 28, medi Bayreuth 23. As expected, really. Both these teams fighting so hard for qualification. Look at the shooting percentages from Promitheas, 67, 150. That's some very good shooting indeed, and that's really been the story of that first quarter. Yes, they are working hard to get high percentage shots, but beyond that, Bayreuth are giving them those shots. They're not challenging them as hard as they probably should. You have a feeling that's going to change in the second quarter, as Bayreuth will look to become a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end. But that man, Rion Brown, really has had an impressive first 10 minutes. 5 from 6 from the field, 11 points, 2 rebounds. A very impressive opening stint from him. But can he really continue to play every second on the floor? Probably not. And who else on the Promitheas team is going to step up? Maybe it could be that man, Octavius Ellis. He hasn't had a bad start to the game either. 4 points and a rebound to his name already. Medi Bayreuth are being led by Dorit with 6 points. Both of those were for threes, and Damon Brooks has also got 6 as well as 3 rebounds. So the second quarter is underway here in Patras. After 10 minutes, Promitheas lead by 5 over Bayreuth. And game day 10 here of the Basketball Champions League, and a turnover straight away as Ellis can't hold on to the ball. Being pressurized there by Meisner. Sorry, by Seifert. Hrovat now. Brings it up over the half, being guarded by Brown. Seifert will hand it off to Thomas, back to Hrovat. Into the low post now to Seifert. Going to look to go to work against Ellis. Instead it comes back out. The jumper from the outside from Dorit is off target, but a foul's going to be called off the ball, and it's a silly foul from Gregor Hrovat. You're a long, long way from your own basket. You're really not going to achieve much. The ball's all wrapped up and you're still swinging your arms about. It's not what Coach Raoul Corner want his players to be doing. Brown now. Back to Gikas. Gikas, oh, wonderful swing pass to Lepovi for 3, and he obliges with the string music. Look at the form on that shot. Textbook. medi Bayreuth are able to pick up the offensive rebound though. Into Sarfort, back to Hrovat, who gets the two off the glass. Gikas inside, floats it. Elias wasn't quite up for the alley-oop, but Brown's up for the jumper from outside. Rebound this time by Meisner. And Bayreuth will look to reduce the deficit here. Meisner inside to Seifert. Seifert spin inside. Oh, nice use of the body, but it's knocked away. Promitheas now. The ball in the hands of Rion Brown. Comes back to Gikas. And a travelling violation is going to be called on Nikos Gikas. Smile on his face. Not sure he agrees with the officials, but that's the call. Part of the focus is a Greek all-star last season, Nikos Gikas. Averaging 8.7 points and 5.2 assists, more importantly, in the Basketball Champions League this season for Promitheas. Hrovat now. Drives to the basket strong, no one there for the pass though, and Seifert will pick up the loose ball and will draw the foul. Allowed himself a trip to the line, and he's a good free throw shooter, so that's not a bad thing. And there's the foul from Meyer. His second foul of the game. First team foul of the quarter for Promitheas. And Seifert can't connect with the first. Get a second opportunity at the line. He joined medi Bayreuth from Bayern Munich. And the veteran centre certainly has played a big part in Bayreuth's turnaround this year. Lepovi now to Ellis, to Brown. Gikas will look for options in front of him, nothing there inside to Ellis, and he floats to the basket. Soft touch off the glass for two, and Promitheas lead back up to 7. 7.5 minutes left in this second quarter. Wonderful ball movement here from Bayreuth, but can they get it inside? Oh, they can. That's a wonderful pass from Seifert to Meisner. And the two is good. Beautiful team offense there by Bayreuth. Gikas inside. Kicks it out to Kaselaikis. It's knocked out of bounds by Meisner. It's going to remain a Promitheas ball. The shooting percentage for Promitheas still remains high, 70% from the field. Ellis now to Lepovi. Comes back to Gikas. Pick and roll at the top. Pulls the trigger on a long two, and not quite enough on that one to get it over the front of the iron. Hrovat using the screen well. Floats inside, kicks it back out. Dorit's too long, but Hrovat corrals the loose ball, floats it in. The softest of touches for Meisner is enough, as the two is good. We'll put Meisner to the bench though, as Damon Brooks comes back in for Bayreuth. And Promitheas lead is just 3 points now. The replay there to show that one going in. Kaselaikis now. Looking to shake his defender, but can't. Pulls on a long two. It's no good. Hrovat with some urgency over the half. Dorit now will slow it down. Pick and roll, and the handle is lost, but he's fouled. And Seifert goes strong on the roll. Lovely pass. And yeah, that's Rion Brown reaching in, trying to help. But as a coach, you always tell your players it's great to help out. It's great to rotate round. But you need to play that defense with your feet. Get your feet moving. Don't just reach in with the hands, because it's such an easy call for the officials to make when they see you overstretching with your arms. Seifert at the line for another 2. This is the first. Back to the line for another. Connects with the second. Bayreuth's lead is down to just a single possession now. 6 minutes left now in the second quarter. Lepovi. Kaselaikis. Back up to Gikas. Kaselaikis is open for the 3. Was tempted. You could see him almost flex for the 3. Gikas now feeds Kaselaikis. Back out to Gikas. Gikas with a fake. Gets Seifert in the air. Kaselaikis from the wing. Hits the jumper as the shot clock expires. There's some confidence for you. Promitheas confident that they could get the shot away. Provat now. Waits for the screen from Seifert. Floats inside, one-handed little right hook up onto the glass. Is off target though. Lepovi calls the offense for Promitheas. Kaselaikis waits for the screen from Ellis. Goes to the basket, looks to pass it back out. Lepovi gets the loose ball inside to Ellis and gets the 2. That's a tough play from the big man. Bayreuth, and Provat had leaked out on the defensive end and got himself a cheeky 2 in transition. Smart heads-up play by Bayreuth. Quickly cancelled out the Ellis score. And under 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. It's a 4-point ball game. 37 to Promitheas Patras, 33 to medi Bayreuth. You have a feeling this game is going to go back and forth for the entire 40 minutes. And it's going to be the small details that make the difference. Let's jump into the Promitheas huddle. As both teams come back out of their huddles. Here are your points from turnovers. Not been a huge number of turnovers so far in this game. Both teams protecting the ball pretty well. And that really is a sign of 2 teams that are towards the top of their games at the moment. They're on form. Ball now to Gikas. As Ellis flashes to the basket. Kaselaikis fakes a 3, drives inside, and is going to draw the foul from Damon Brooks. And it was all stemming from that fake. Manages to draw him, and as soon as you've got past him, Brooks has no choice really but to lean on Kaselaikis as he passes him. Only the second team foul of the quarter for Bayreuth though, so no team foul concerns there. Ellis, let's go backdoor to Gikas, but can't. He comes back out to Hall, shot clock down to 3. Long jumper is no good, and Dorit will pick up the rebound. Puts it into the hands of Robertson, and he's been pretty quiet on the offensive end so far. No points on the board for Robertson. Bear in mind he averages 12. Dorit for 3 though, and that's a long way out. Bastien Dorit picking up some of the slack there. And we are down to a single-point difference now as Dorit goes up to 9 points personal, all of them coming from the perimeter. Gikas Sees if he can return the favour, and he can. Drains it to the bottom of the bucket. 3.5 minutes left in this second quarter. A relatively high-scoring game here. Inside, quick ball movement. Brooks for three. In and out. Rebound battle is going to be won by Salustris for Promitheas. Hall now. Back to Kasilakis into Salustris. Quick spin move on the baseline. Floats it up. Foul's going to be on the floor. As Dorit is going to be called for the foul on Salustris, and the mismatch just too much for him. The quick feet of Salustris enough to draw the foul. It's going to send Dorit to the bench for Bayreuth. And back into the game comes Stockton. Stockton on 2 fouls himself. And there's the Geekus 3 from the top. Hall now. Feeds the low post. Kasilakis going to work. Comes up short. But draws the foul and will earn himself a trip to the line. You just have a feeling from Promitheas, as much as this game ebbs and flows, they have a cool, calm confidence about them, how they're approaching the game. And it's down to that coach there, Coach Corner, to disrupt that for medi Bayreuth. Kasilakis missing the first, and it's a basic of coaching. You tell players stay at the line, don't walk away from it. As soon as you let go of the ball, he's walking backwards. Keep your feet planted until you see the ball go through the basket. Stockton into the action straight away for Bayreuth. To Robertson. To Ravio. Into the low post to Brooks, who loses the handle. And he's had a bit of a nightmare so far, Damon Brooks. He's not playing to the level we're used to. He's making mistakes. Unfortunately for him, it's stayed in possession of Bayreuth. Seifert from way outside with the shot clock expiring. Robertson manages to keep it into, taps it back to Ravio. Ravio for three, nails it! And that's what you need from your bench players into the game and straight away performing. Geekus now. Looks to use a screen by Parks. Long two's no good, and Seifert will pull down the rebound. Gives it up to Stockton. Stockton with a long outlet pass to Brooks, and Brooks gets the two deep in the paint. Wonderful heads-up play by David Stockton. Saw that his man had established well in the paint. And a perfect placed pass was what it needed. Kasilakis now, almost stolen away by Brooks. Kasilakis is going to barrel his way to the basket, and it's great defense by Damon Brooks. Kasilakis looks at the officials. Nothing to be given. That's a poor pass by Ravio to Geekas. Geekas can't get it to go. And it's a real run and gun affair at the moment. Robertson now will slow it down. The game is tied at 41 apiece. Robertson inside to Seifert. It's knocked away though. Geekas can't hold on to it. So Bayreuth will get possession on the side. And you have a feeling there's some frustration by Geekus there. That tap was meant for one of his teammates, but his teammate had turned and run on the transition already. But Bayreuth will look to make them pay for that mistake. Just 1 minute and 8 seconds left in this first half, and it's been nip and tuck all the way through so far. Stockton now using a screen by Seifert, and the foul is going to be called on Rion Brown. That's a smart move by Stockton. Brown is such an influential player for Promitheas. If you can get him in a bit of foul trouble with some smart heads-up plays like that, it really could help you out. Thomas now to inbound to Brooks. Brooks sees the lane open up for him, drives inside, draws the foul, but can't get the bucket to go. Brooks will head to the line as he picks up the foul from Terrell Parks. Easy call for the officials to make. Coach Patras will be hoping for more from his team in the second half. They felt like they're in control for most of the game, but here they are with under a minute left in the second quarter, and they're being held at 41 apiece by that man there, Coach Corner, and his team. Just waiting for some sweat to be cleared off the floor before we can continue. When we do continue, Brooks will be back at the line for two. He had a big game last time out. They're unable to beat Strasbourg and keep their winning streak going, but he put 23 points up and 4 rebounds in that game. Really starting to reach the peak of his career now, Damon Brooks. 13.6 points per game in the Basketball Champions League for him, as Bayreuth drop into a 2-2-1 zone press. And that stalls Promitheas slightly, and that drops back into a 2-3. Feels like a match-up zone. Kaselaikis now into the corner. Salus just passes it out, and it's no good from the perimeter for Promitheas. Ravio now finds Seifert and goes to Thomas. Thomas is trying to find Brooks on a mismatch, but they've swapped it up. Ravio. Little shake inside. And a bullet pass to his coach isn't going to win him any favours. The coach wasn't ready for the catch and shoot opportunity that he'd been given. And a timeout has been called with 16 seconds left in this second quarter. Matthias will want to make the most, 17.5 seconds. They'll want to make the most of that time left on the clock. Currently trail by a point, which is not the script that they wanted to follow. Bear in mind, Bayreuth have only led for less than a minute and a half of his first 20 minutes, whilst Promitheas have led for almost 16 of those 20 minutes. Bayreuth, you have a feeling they've come to spoil the party somewhat here in Patras this evening, and so far it seems to be working. They've certainly increased their defensive intensity in this second quarter, which has disrupted Promitheas' free-flowing scoring in the first quarter. And they've kept Promitheas down to just 13 points compared to 28 that they scored in the first quarter. And here we are in the closing stages now of this first half. 10 seconds left on the clock. Hall now with the ball for Promitheas. Looking to shake his man up, feeds it out. Kaselaikis hits the three. What a great way for them to finish off that second quarter. That triple secures them a 2-point lead to take into the locker room. Ice in the veins of Kaselaikis, and a wry little smile on his face as he jogs back down the floor. And you can see they're enjoying their basketball here in Patras. Promitheas Patras 44, medi Bayreuth 42 at the half-time break. There are your shooting stats from that first half. Promitheas with some good shooting percentages. 5 from 8 from the perimeter is good. The rebounding battle's been dominated by Bayreuth though. 8 offensive rebounds for them. That's going to be a concern for Coach Patras of Promitheas. They'll want to lock down those defensive boards a little bit harder than that. Here are your game leaders. Brown is leading all scorers with 11 points, Brooks with 9, Hrovat 4 rebounds, Ellis 3 boards, Gikas 7 assists, Hrovat with 3 assists. Gikas also 3 steals to his name as well. There's your other scorers, Ellis and Gikas 8 and 7 respectively for Promitheas, and Dorit with 9 and Seifert with 6 for medi Bayreuth at this half-time interval. And Promitheas really got the game underway at a serious pace. They scored 28 points in that first quarter, a phenomenal effort. But that said, Bayreuth weren't far behind. They got 23. Both teams picked up their defensive pressure in the second quarter, though. And Promitheas were kept to just 16 points, whilst Bayreuth scored 19. That's left us with a 2-point lead for Promitheas at the half-time break. And for them, their scoring has been led by Rion Brown. He's got 11 points, shooting 5 from 6 from the floor, 2 boards to his name as well. But he's also been supported by Octavius Ellis in the paint. He's got 8 points and 3 rebounds. Gikas has 7 points, and believe it or not, he's already got 7 assists to his name as well. A phenomenal effort in the first half from Nikos Gikas. And as for medi Bayreuth, they've got joint leading scorers in Damon Brooks and Bastian Dorit, both with 9 points. Brooks also has 3 boards and an assist to his name, whilst Dorit has 1 board and 2 assists chalked up on the box score for him. Also scoring for Bayreuth is Seifert and Hrovat, both of them with 6 points on the box score as well. Shooting percentages reasonably similar. Only one that really stands out is Promitheas Patras, shooting over 60% from 3 points. And the other ones that stand out are the rebounding battle at the moment, being dominated by Bayreuth. 20 rebounds to just 10 for Promitheas. And most concerningly is Bayreuth have 8 offensive rebounds. So they're almost winning the battle of both boards at the moment. But as predicted before the game, this one's going to be a close one. It's going to go to the wire. Promitheas currently 3rd in the table, Bayreuth 5th in the table. Both of these teams with their eyes firmly fixed on making it through to the Basketball Champions League playoffs, and a win here this evening is a critical part of that process for both the teams. So at the half-time break, Promitheas Patras 44, medi Bayreuth 42. 20 more minutes of action ahead of us here in Patras, and you have a feeling there's going to be plenty of twists and turns in this story this evening. So make sure you join me for all the second half action coming up shortly. Welcome back to Patras for the second half of Promitheas Patras versus medi Bayreuth, and what a game we've had so far in the first 20 minutes of this one. We're left with a 2-point lead for Promitheas Patras at the half-time break. It really has been nip and tuck throughout the opening 20 minutes of action. A high-scoring first quarter was followed by a slightly more tense, tight second quarter. But that leaves us with a 2-point lead for Promitheas at the moment. And it's been Rion Brown's show once again here in Patras. 11 points for him, 5 from 6 from the field. Promitheas Ellis has got 8 points. Geekas has got 7 as well. And Geekas has also got 7 assists to his name in the first half alone. An exciting second half still to come, that's for sure. As for medi Bayreuth, they are led in scoring by Damon Brooks with 9 points. Also, Bastian Dorit has 9 points as well. And Gregor Horvat has 6 points, 4 rebounds to his name. And remember how important this is for both of these teams' Basketball Champions League campaigns. At the moment, Promitheas sitting in third in the group. If they win here this evening, that will move them up to second. For Bayreuth, they sit fifth. At the moment, remember, top 4 qualify through to the playoffs, so a big game for them. If they win, that could move them up into 4th place. So much at stake for both of these teams here in Patras this evening. Which team will hold their nerve? The home crowd have been very vocal in the first 20 minutes. Plenty of horns and drums and singing going on in the arena. Will they still be singing at the end of the game? We'll have to wait and see. Bayreuth already on the floor, ready to go. Their 5 are eager to get the game started. And they're waiting for the Promitheas 5 to make their way onto the hardwood, as they do. Just moments away now from the start of the second half here in what is a crucial Basketball Champions League game in one of the hottest contested groups in this season's competition. Here we go, second half action underway here in Patras as Promitheas Patras lead this one 44-42 over medi Bayreuth after 20 minutes. Robertson for 3, off right with that one. Lepovi secures the rebound for Promitheas. Ellis comes along, sets the screen for him. Doors closed for Lepovi though. Kasalikas now will hand it off to Brown. Shot clock down to 7, Lepovi. Kasalikas slides inside and draws the foul, I think, from Damon Brooks. Just slips through the 2 defenders. They're expecting the handoff. It's a smart heads-up play by Kasalikas. Oh, knocked away by Robertson. Quick hands. That was meant for Rion Brown, and if he'd caught it there, I have a feeling he might have caught and shot. Brown now to inbound it, goes long to Ellis, who hands it off to Geekas. Geekas now into the corner to Lepovi. Lepovi fakes, feeds it inside. That's a wonderful feed pass, but Ellis can't hold on to it. Can Brown score? Yes, he can, as the shot clock was expiring. Get out of jail from Rion Brown there for Promitheas. Here's Stockton, uses the Robertson screen, and remember, Robertson did not score in that first half. He's averaging over 12 points a game, and get out of here, says Octavius Ellis. The crowd enjoyed that one. And Cypher just dollies it up for Ellis to swat away. Cypher now back back in the low post, waving his teammate away, wants to go to work on Ellis, and does with the soft left hand, but not soft enough, as Ellis picks up the rebound and hands it to Gikas. Being guarded by Stockton. Kasalaikas sets the screen, rolls inside, and now he's got the mismatch he wanted. Double team comes into the corner for Lepovi, hits the three, and Promitheas once again start heating up on the offensive end. Robertson now into Brooks, trying to back his way against Kasalaikas. Has to come back out to Thomas. Thomas against Brown. Little shake, fades away. Gets the shot off, but it comes out to Stockton, who shoots the three. He's short. Rayon Brown will pull down the rebound. 7-point lead now for Promitheas. Quick ball movement, Kasalaikas, little shake inside to Ellis. Ellis almost has it stripped away. He's called for the foul though. And that's going to be an and one for Octavius Ellis. I think Stockton's going to have picked up his third foul there as well, which is a big foul for Bayreuth. Is it going to be called on Stockton, or is it going to be called on Seifert? We'll wait to see. That one's called on Seifert. And Ellis is at the line for the bonus. Doesn't get it to go, and Bayreuth will be grateful. The lead is only at 9. They haven't scored for over 4 minutes of action now. Seifert inside. Oh, wonderful spinning move to the basket. And that puts an end to the dry spell for medi Bayreuth. Gikas now. Kasalaikas with an unusual screen. The lob pass to Ellis is no good, as Thomas contests for the ball and wins it. Thomas now inside to Seifert. Seifert has it knocked away, but is fouled. Not to the pleasure of the crowd or the coaching staff of Promitheas. Let's have a look. Yeah, plenty of contact on his elbow. He might have knocked the ball as well. There's the lob pass that Thomas intercepted. Gets up there to contest it. It's a fair challenge for the ball in the air. Ellis is called for the first foul. First team foul of the quarter for Promitheas as well. Robertson, quick first step off the glass, and he gets his first 2 of the game. It's taken him plenty of time, but Bayreuth will be hoping in that takes the lid off things for Cassius Robertson. He's averaging over 12 points per game, and unusual for him to have to wait to the second half to get his first score. Played 14 minutes, only 2 points on the board for him. Foul's going to be called on Seifert. That's his second foul. Third team foul, though, of the quarter for Bayreuth. Only just over 3 minutes played in this quarter. That could cause them some problems. Ellis now to Kasalaikas. Drives inside, has to come back out to Gikas. Gikas drives to the baseline, has it closed off though, and Lepovi catches and drives strong to the basket. Big, big play, Alexander Lepovi. Such a difficult matchup for most teams. It's his second season at Promitheas, and he really is that versatile player. Can almost play 2 through 4 for Promitheas. Ukrainian's not the best free throw shooter in the world though, only averaging 64% in the Basketball Champions League this season. Can't connect with the bonus from the line, and Promitheas are only shooting 38% from the line, which is an absolute shocker. That said, Bayreuth are only 62, which isn't much better. Stockton with a little crossover, and Kasalaikas is called for the foul. Bit of a cynical foul really by Kasalaikas. He knew he'd been undone by the crossover, and really was just stopping the easy score. Stockton now to inbound the ball, does so to Robertson. Robertson floats inside but loses control, but the foul's going to be called on Ellis. That's 2 quick fouls on Octavius Ellis. 3rd team foul of the quarter for Promitheas. He's saying he picked the ball up and was going to shoot, so it should be a shooting foul. The officials say no, it was on the floor. So it'll be a sideline ball for Bayreuth. In goes Robertson, quick ball movement, Brooks a 3. Oh, that's beautiful team offense by Bayreuth. And the Promitheas lead is down to 4. Under 6 minutes left of the 3rd quarter. Once again, the momentum shift. Moves across. Lepovi now. Feeds Kasalaikis in the low post. Quick pass inside. Now to Ellis, hands it off to Brown, gets a 2 to go as the shot clock was expiring. And that's exactly what Rion Brown can do for you. Stockton now, crossover, back inside, elbow. Comes back out to Seifert. He hands it off to Robertson. To Brooks. Brooks will drive inside now, into the corner. Stockton open for 3 and gets it to go. And that's exactly what we're talking about. In a blink of an eye, Bayreuth have brought the lead down to just 3 points now. Stockton up to 6. All of them coming from the perimeter. Gikas for Promitheas. Into Ellis. Ellis spin move against Seifert. Too light on the hook, but gets the offensive board. Has to come back out. Kasalaikis now will drive inside, and a foul will be called on Adonis Thomas. And that will send Kasalaikis to the line for 2 shots. Made his senior international debut for Greece as part of the World Cup qualification campaign they're currently in. Was also part of the gold-winning under-20s Greek side of 2009. They won the European Championship gold at under-20 level back then. And he really is an awkward player. Plays with such heart and hustle. Doesn't give you a second off if you're playing against him. Can really make a difference for a team. Thomas now back to Robertson. Uses the screen set by Seifert. Inside Meisner to Seifert, off the glass for 2, and it's a wonderful big man contest that's developing in the paint between Seifert and Ellis. They are really trading blows down low at the moment. And Seifert up to double digits with that score. Gikas. Back out to Kasalaikis for 3. Oh, and he rattles home another score. He might be coming off the bench, but he's taking control of this game. And up to 11 points personal now. Leonidas Kasalaikis. Stockton has got the mismatch, shoots the 3. Short with that one. Rebound battle's going to be won by Promitheas. Gikas back to Kasalaikis. All inside to Kasalaikis, to Ellis for the 2-hand rim rocker. Wonderful team offense, beautiful vision by Kasalaikis, sees the trail man, and Ellis obliges with the jam. And the double team switching across to Kasalaikis, freed up Octavius Ellis to fly through the paint. And the timeout has been called. As Coach Raul Corner wants to talk it over with his team. Let's jump into his huddle.
Pass out, not to the rolling big guy. Okay, you got to come together. Let's go 2 side right now. 2 side. Okay. You see, you can come off on either side. Okay, Lucas had a good first screen. Be aggressive on the first one and turn this. Maybe you can be almost here. All right. Then if Andy's over here, Cash is aggressive. All right. If they leave.
There's your quarter breakdowns. As you can see, the game started at a huge pace offensively, and the defense has certainly ratcheted up a few gears since that first quarter. That said, this third quarter seems to be on pace for another high scorer. Both teams working hard on the offense, maybe a little bit harder than they are on the defense. And that man, Kasalaikas, really has been crucial in this quarter for Promitheas. Stockton now up over the half. To Robertson. Back to Stockton. Passes it to Seifert, who pulls for a long two, and that's not where you want to see the big man taking shots from. He can hit those shots, but you'd rather he was in the paint, back to the basket, working hard to get the hook shot away. Meisner now guarding Brown on the perimeter. Kasalaikas throws it away. Stockton's out at the races. Looking to draw the contact from Rion Brown. Worked a little bit too hard for the contact. He's lucky it wasn't an offensive foul, but manages to get the score off the glass anyway. Gikas now for Promitheas. Skips it to Kasalaikas. Brown in the corner, wide open for three. Off target with that attempt. Thomas now. Robertson for three. And he's off target, but the foul's going to be called on Seifert. A little bit overly aggressive on the offensive glass. He disagrees with the officials. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, he's got his hands in the back, don't get me wrong. Promitheas made the most of it, but it was a foul. And Bastian Dorit is going to come back into the game. And Sayarellis, who drew the foul, is able to connect with the first. Not the second. Oh, yes he does. He gets the roll on the second. Promitheas will make a couple of changes as Hall comes back into the game. What can Dorit do now for Bayreuth? They trail by 8. 2 minutes 20 left here in this third quarter. Seifert looking to hand off to Robertson. Robertson, a little shake. Looking to find some space, nothing there, but the loose ball manages to find its way into the hands of Seifert, but it's knocked away by Lepovi. Looks like Seifert got hit as well. It's inside, and it's on the ball. He did catch the hand, but no foul there. Baseline ball for Bayreuth. And once again, Promitheas shooting an unbelievable percentage from the field, 78% in this quarter. And there's the trail, wonderful cut by Meisner. Makes it an easy pass from the inbound and an easy two off the glass, but a very important two as well. Meisner up for 6 points now, yet to miss a jumper. Sayarellis hands it back to Lepovi. Lepovi looking to make some space, nothing there. Tough fadeaway jumper is good to go, and he almost turned back into the defense of Gregor Hrovat. Still got it to go though. Seifert hands it off to Robertson, and Lepovi's got his hands in the way, steals it away for Promitheas and slows things down to Hall. Kasalaikas sets the screen and rolls to the basket. Quick weak side pass to Sayarellis. Sayarellis can't get it to go, and Meisner will pull down the rebound for Bayreuth. Cagey close to this third quarter. Promitheas lead by 8. Dorit inside to Seifert. Gets a 2 to go, and a wonderfully placed pass by Dorit made that one for Seifert. 6-point lead now. Seifert up to 12 points personal as Bayreuth drop into a 2-3 zone. Brown, little shake, pulls the trigger on the three and hits the three, and that's the problem with dropping into the zone against players that can shoot. Doesn't take much for them to free the space up, and Promitheas up to a 9-point lead. Dorit is fouled by Lepovi. I don't think Dorit is overly happy. Didn't seem that much in that one. Slapped his arm, slapped the ball away. And here's the little shake by Rion Brown, which was enough to give him the space to get the jumper away. 20.4 seconds on the third quarter clock. 6.4 second differential between the game clock here in the third quarter and the shot clock. So Promitheas will get the ball back. Meisner for three. Oh, string music for Meisner. Wonderful shot from the big man. Down to 6 points, the Promitheas lead now. Back out to Kaselaikis for three. He's fouled though by Meisner. Kaselaikis is going to go to the line for 3 shots. Love to see the replay of that one, how strong the foul was. Kaselaikis certainly knows how to show when he's been fouled, that's for sure. Meisner's not arguing too hard though, so looks like it would be a good call. Let's have a look. Shots up. Yeah, absolutely on the wrist. Poor defense by Meisner. It's going to send Kaselaikis to the line for 3 shots. Only 1.6 seconds left on the third quarter clock as well. Short with the first, and free throw shooting is leaving a lot to be desired by both teams here so far. Both teams shooting around 60% from the line, which is not the level you'd expect from either. Can Bayreuth do anything with 1.6 seconds left on the third quarter clock? Can they get it away? They can. Hrovat will get it away, but he comes up short, only just. And at the end of the third quarter, Promitheas Patras lead this one 71-63 over medi Bayreuth in what is such a critical Basketball Champions League game. Here are your stats so far. Impressive shooting across the board except for 3 throws, particularly for Promitheas. 62% from the perimeter is unreal, really. That tells you, 1, they're shooting well, but 2, maybe the defense isn't reacting quick enough. As Promitheas started that quarter exceptionally quickly. Things slowed down for them. It's a little bit more of a high-scoring quarter, though. Promitheas scoring 27 in that quarter to 21 from Bayreuth. That's opened their lead up to 8 points now. But it is Rion Brown that is leading the way for Promitheas. It's up to 18 points personal, 3 rebounds. 3 other players in double digits for Promitheas: Kaselaikis, Ellis and Lepovi. As for Bayreuth, they've only got 2 players in double digit scoring. Damon Brooks has got 12, as has Andreas Seifert. Seifert's also got 6 rebounds to his name as well. But you have a feeling this game is for Promitheas to throw away. At the moment, they're in control. They have a quiet confidence about them, whereas it's going to take a big effort from Bayreuth in this final 10 minutes to upset the form book. Seconds away from the start of this final quarter now. Here we go, the final 10 minutes of action here. Game day 10 in Patras. Promitheas Patras 71, medi Bayreuth 63 with 10 to play. Rion Brown goes straight to work, but the defense from Ravio is enough to put him off. Ravio now with the ball at the top, uses the Brooks screen. Back to Hrovat. Nice change of direction, floats inside to Brooks for the easy 2, and Bayreuth get the scoring underway early here in the fourth quarter. Paul to the basket, strong move. Misses what was a relatively easy opportunity. Hrovat now looking to go coast to coast, but it's knocked away. Brown out in transition with a two-handed jam. That cancels out Bayreuth's early score in this quarter. Hrovat now calling for the screen, waves it away to Meisner. Meisner's going to hand it off to Dorit. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Hrovat's going to have to put it up from range. Off target. Salustris comes back the other way, and Hrovat's going to be called for the foul. He needs to be careful that he's not going to get called for an unsportsmanlike foul. And Salustris was keen to advance the ball quickly. Hrovat stepped across his path pretty strongly. They're going to review this one. No real surprise there. Collision was quite hard. Here's the replay. Hrovat is going for the ball. You might be better looking in the air a little bit further away to see the totality of it. That could be called either way, really. That's going to be down to the discretion of the officials whether they think it was excessive or not. Let's see what they say. I think Hrovat can feel hard done by if it isn't unsportsmanlike, and Promitheas can feel hard done by if it isn't. If I'm completely honest with you, that really is down to how the referees interpret that one. And Salustris almost ends up in the front row here in the arena. Officials just discussing it at the moment. And now they're going to make the decision. Just a regular foul, they're going to call that one. And hear the boos ringing out around the arena, but I think ultimately could have given either way. Second foul on Hrovat, first team foul of the quarter for Bayreuth. Hall now for Promitheas. Gets it to Brown, catch and shoot for three. Short with that one though. And Brown's just a couple early here in the fourth quarter. Ravio now. Ravio looking to shape up against Sayarales. Into the corner for Meisner. He's along with that, but the rebound is caught by Brooks, and the foul I think is going to be called on Hall. Might even be on Salustris. Oh, sorry, on that Kasilikis. Yep, reaching in on that one. Puts his hand up to claim it. Still an 8-point lead for Promitheas. 8:15 left on the game clock. What do Bayreuth have in their locker? Can they blast their way back into this one? Ravio now on the wing. Goes to Dorit. 4 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to shoot the long shot. Brooks will take it instead. It's rejected by Langston Hall. There's the shot clock violation. Great defense by Promitheas. And that kind of defense will always get the appreciation of the fans. I love seeing teams working hard, rotating hard, and a wonderful finish to the defensive phase there with the Hall block. Brooks really no choice though, had to take whatever shot was offered. It's stolen away, and an unsportsmanlike foul is going to be called on Salustris as he pulled back on Hrovat, who was out in transition. And here's a replay. Hrovat had stolen it, and yep, Salustris pretty much just wanted to stop the transition. That will send Hrovat to the line. He's short with the first of his two. .75% from the line before tonight's game. Connects with the second, and because of the unsportsmanlike foul, Bayreuth will get the ball back and have another chance to chip away at the 7-point lead that Promitheas have currently. Dory now using the horn screens at the top. As Provat looks to find the pass inside, it's knocked away though by Brown. Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Bayreuth will have to work quickly to shape something out of this. And every possession becomes more and more important the closer you get to the final buzzer. Provat inbounds it to Brooks. What can Brooks do? Goes to the basket, spin move, off the glass for 2, and the foul is called. Big play by Damon Brooks. You can hear how big it is by the silence in the arena. He's certainly taken the noise out of the building, that's for sure. Wonderful spin as he uses his body strength to get to the basket. Can he complete the 3-point play? Yes, he can. And the look of disgust for Coach Gietlis is because his lead is down to just 4 points now. Coach Corner at the other end of the hardwood will be happy to see his team hustling hard to get back into this one. Hall now feeds Kasilikis in the low post, hands it back. Hall will drive the baseline but step out of bounds. Some tough defense being played, that's for sure. As back into the action comes Nikos Gikas. No, that's a great call by the officials. It's never easy to watch the upper body contact that he'll receive as well as exactly where his foot's going. Stepped out of bounds before there was any contact, really. Provat now for Bayreuth. Is this game going to go to the wire as many expected it to do? Dolly now turns the corner, pulls the trigger on the 3. He's sure with that one, and the rebounding battle is won by Kasilikis. Gives it up to Brown. Brown in full flow. And the lane opens up for Rion Brown. Provat inside to Brooks, spin move. Quick ball movement, Dorit for 3. Rattles around the ring and out. Gikas, long outlet pass to Brown. Another 2 for him. And in the blink of an eye, Promitheas are back up to an 8-point lead. And that is what this team have been doing all season. The explosive offensive firepower they have in their roster can decimate teams in a matter of moments. One moment, Bayreuth thought they were right back in the game. And then several seconds later, they're being held out at another 8-point deficit. Wonderful play by Promitheas. Let's listen to the huddle here for Bayreuth.
Set the screen, try to get the ball in for AD. Lucas, on his catch, the man who got left, screen for Cassius. Okay, screen for Cassius. Right, only if we don't get inside when he comes out, then we gotta go with the rest of the offense. Okay, 3 down, let's go. Team, 1, 2, 3, team.
Great to see all the fans, young and old, enjoying themselves courtside. And it is a great advert, not for just Basketball Champions League basketball, but club basketball in Europe generally. And 2 great teams like this, full of superstars, go head to head. And neither team are backing down, that's for sure. It's going to be a baseline ball for Bayreuth after that breakaway score for Brown. And Robertson will bring it up over the half. Still only 2 points to his name. He hasn't performed at the level he's used to. And there, Damon Brooks is leading the scoring for Bayreuth with 17. Out to Meisner. He's short with his long jumper. And you have a feeling that the game is here for Promitheas to almost kill off now. A couple of minutes of tough basketball at both ends could really hammer some nails in the coffin for Bayreuth. Ellis with a nice strong move inside. You wonder if they're going to bring Seifert back on. He seemed to be able to contain Ellis somewhat. Thomas now for Bayreuth. Going to get his way past Ellis, but Ellis is so physical. Dory back out to Thomas. Quick ball movement. Robertson for three. Short with that one. Rebound's going to be won by Brooks, though. Brooks goes inside, floats the right hand. And much to the relief of the Bayreuth fans at home, I'm sure, he gets the right hand floater to go. Down to an 8-point lead for Promitheas now. The Povey. Lane opens up, floats it to Ellis. Authority on the alley-oop. And that's the threat that Octavius Ellis has. If you double away, he's going to go up for the alley-oop. Thomas shoots the three, can't get it to go, and it's clanged off Octavius Ellis's head and gone out of bounds. And there's the alley-oop pass from Lepovi. And the aggressive finish from Ellis. And that's the problem. As soon as you help across, away from Ellis, you know where he's going. He's going to go straight to the iron. He's going to fly high, and he's going to throw down hard. Bastian Dorit now to inbound it for Bayreuth. Going to go long. If he can even get it in, and he does so to Seifert. They have brought him in to contest against Ellis. Robertson out to Dorit. Dorit floats one in. A little bit shallow on the trajectory, and Lepovi's once again going to fight tooth and nail for the ball, but he's knocked it out of bounds, so it's going to stay in the hands of Bayreuth. Working so hard. Alexander Lepovi does not quit, not for a second. Inside to Seifert. And the Promitheas lead is down to 8 again. But they do seem to manage to hold Bayreuth at just an arm's length at the moment. I'd love to extend it further, I'm sure. And there's the pick and roll once again. As soon as the big man helps across, Ellis is going to make you pay. You have to play true. You can't come and help. Someone just needs to guard Rion Brown straight up. Robertson now. A couple of crossovers to create some room, and Kaselaikis will come up to guard him. Does he have the foot speed to beat him? He does. Gets to the basket and gets the two, and that's the mismatch they wanted. That's the mismatch Robertson will capitalise on. Gikas now. Calls for the screen. Goes inside. Tries to skip it to the corner. It ends up in Brown's hands. Oh, and he makes them pay as he hops along after draining the three. Double-digit lead for Promitheas now. Thomas. Trying to find some space. Spins back. Too heavy, but it's fallen into the hands of Bastian Dorit. Robertson for three, hits the three. Maybe he's starting to warm up at exactly the right time for medi Bayreuth. That's a quick 5 points for Robertson. He's up to 7 points personal now after a completely scoreless first half. But there's the three from Rion Brown. He enjoyed scoring that one, as did the crowd enjoy it here in the arena. Let's jump into the Promitheas huddle. Always interesting going into the huddles. Even if you don't necessarily speak the language, you certainly get the emotion, particularly in that Promitheas huddle. I don't think Nikos Gikas particularly appreciated the comments of his coach. If looks could kill, I think Coach Giatris might be on the way to hospital right now after that look from Nikos Gikas. He, yeah, certainly sent him some daggers in that, but the passion is high. Players and coaches alike, so much pressure and pride on the line here in Patras tonight. Gikas turns the corner. Ellis sets the screen twice. Shot clock down to 7 now. Pulls the trigger on a long 3. Oh, and gets it to go. How big a shot is that for Promitheas? Back out to a double-digit lead, under 3 minutes to play. Bayreuth have got to turn it on at both ends now. Brooks going to back his way to the basket. Instead, he's going to come out to Stockton. Stockton almost has it stolen away. He's under severe pressure. It's a travel. And that's the problem when you're undersized like David Stockton is. You pick your dribble up, it's going to end in one thing, and that's you double-teamed and being harassed into traveling. And that's great defense by Gikas and Kasselakis. Kasselakis heads to the bench and Hall comes back in. Well, there's the man of the moment, Rion Brown. Gikas now waits for the screen from Ellis. Ellis sets it nice and high. Stockton working hard to get round it. Ellis almost set an illegal screen, really. Wasn't set at all. Lepovi now against Brooks. Lepovi looking just to blast his way to the basket with a bit of acceleration, but Brown will grab the offensive rebound. They're going to need to do something, because it's going to be a 3-second violation. They do get it out. Hall for 3. Misses that one, but a flying Rion Brown with another offensive rebound. Has it stolen away, though, by Seifert. Under 2 minutes to play, 11-point lead for Promitheas. Foul's going to be called on Gikas. That's the 14th foul of the quarter for Promitheas. Just catches him with his leg as he goes past him. And what has Coach Corner got up his sleeves that he can bring out now to try and win this one for Bayreuth? It'll have to be something huge, that's for sure. Robertson now looking to find the space for the 3, not there. Brooks will find the space to get it away, though, but he's off target. Stolen away by Stockton, though. Officials have blown a whistle. I presume there's a mistake on the clock. I think they're saying there was a change of possession because Promitheas managed to gain possession, and then it was stolen away, so the shot clock should have reset to 24, not to 14. It wasn't an offensive rebound, is what the officials are saying. And you see the graphic there for Gikas. He's got his double-double, 10 points, 10 assists. He certainly is instrumental to what Promitheas do, and there's another steal for him as he seems to plunder the box score here this evening. Gikas looking to shake off Stockton. Pulls up for a mid-range 2. He's short with that, and Elias will grab the rebound offensively. Gikas back out to Brown. Brown inside, off the glass for 2. And the Promitheas lead continues to grow. Only 1:09 left. The crowd here sense that they've got the win in the bag. Medi Bayreuth will call the timeout. 1 minute and 9 seconds is plenty of time in basketball. But is it enough time for Bayreuth to do anything about this deficit? The body language in the Bayreuth huddle tells you maybe it isn't. But let's listen in and see what Coach Corner has to say.
Take the ball in. Okay, that's at 5, 4, 1. Throw. Okay, 1. Girl, leave. 4. Look for this. Okay, we have downstream. 2 men come up. Pass. Either high, low, or quick pick and roll here. Okay, the score matters. Okay, the score matters. We're not getting the three-way tie, right? Let's go.
And you heard the final instruction there from Coach Corner. Even he might accept that the game might be a step too far, but the score matters. As he said himself, the score matters. They might get in a three-way tie, and that's when the points difference could be a make or break, particularly in this group. You have to look at the group. There are 3 teams with the same record going into game day 10. Bayreuth, Klaipeda and Ostend both have 4-win, 5-loss records. Can they reduce the deficit, or at least not allow it to extend further? Robertson, little shake, drives inside, it opens up for him. He can't get the lay-in off the glass though. And Promitheas will slow things down, gets it back into the hands of Geekus. They want to see the game out now. I'm not sure that's necessarily a wise foul by Robertson. Thankfully for them, only their second team foul of the quarter, so it won't send Geekus to the line. Rion Brown now in the corner. They need to defend that baseline. Comes back out. Salustris for 3. Spitzen back of the iron and out. Stockton now trying to accelerate. Long 2, short. Rebound for Brooks though. Brooks is being harangued and it's knocked away. Oh, what a pass by Geekus to Brown. Brown's out in the open and an easy left-hand flush for Rion Brown. Thomas inside, high off the glass. And the call from Coach Corner has been ignored as Promitheas have extended their lead further. Geekus now to Sayarellis. Sayarellis inside right hand, and Raul Corner is very frustrated by his team. Robertson will drive the length of the court and pick up the foul. And now it's going to kick off, and Robertson's been an absolute fool in this instance. He really has. The game is over. I know he's gone for the layup, but if he's going to attack the basket, he has to expect some defense to be played. To get frustrated by someone playing tough defense at this stage of the game is a silly place for Robertson to be. I understand his frustration. He hasn't had a good game himself. Only 7 points. It took him all the way to the third quarter to get any points on the board. Ultimately, that's just good defense by Cyrilis, and Robertson's going to be in trouble for that, throwing the ball into the face of Cyrilis. That's going to be interesting to see the referees pick this one apart. Technically, the game clock has expired. By rights, the foul was called, so Robertson should go to the line for 2 shots. But you also have a feeling a technical foul is going to be called on Robertson as well, which by rights would then give Promitheas 1 shot at the other end. Wait for the decisions to be made now. Sayarellis being called for the foul. So that's the regular foul being dealt with. And now the officials are speaking to the commissioner on the officials' bench, just to decide what action is to be taken about Robertson's foolish behaviour after the foul. Just unnecessary, really. They want to look at the replay, and I think when they see the replay, what they'll see is Robertson launching the ball in the face of Sayarellis. And I think when they see that, they'll give a technical foul. I'm not sure if they'll throw him from the game. If they do, there'll obviously be further repercussions, whether there's a suspension or not. You'd have to wait and see what disciplinary action comes, but this is what they're looking at. As Robertson, obviously his coach has told him the score matters, so he wants to try and get one final score. Cyrilis is obviously aware of that as well and goes to try and block him. And here's Robertson's reaction. So there's the foul from Cyrilis. I think they're checking to see if that's an unsportsmanlike foul. I'm not sure it is myself. He's tried to block the ball. And here is Robertson's reaction. He goes and grabs the ball and throws it in Cyrilis' face. I'm not sure what impact the fact that the game clock has expired when Robertson does that will have on the fact, or are they looking at exactly when the foul was committed to how much time should be on the clock? And the referee doing very, very well there indeed. Wonderful piece of officiating there. Saw the flash point and instantly got in the way of the two players. That could have become ugly if he hadn't done so. Great bit of officiating to break that one up quickly, so it didn't get ugly. Not sure what the officials want to get from these replays. They obviously have something in mind. Maybe it is clock-based. Maybe they want to know how long was on the clock when the foul was committed. No, it looks like they want to look exactly at the foul. And it's pretty clear that Robertson just launches the ball in Cyrillus' face, and you see the official straight away step in and split them up. Rion Brown needs to be careful as well. He agitated the situation. Luckily for him, he kept his hands quite low. I don't think anything will go against him. They want to see the rest of the melee, though, to see there wasn't anything stupid from any of the other players. I think it was just a little bit of handbags, as they say. A little bit of pushing and shoving and not much more. They also need to look at the bench to see who clears from the bench. Because if anyone steps in from the bench, they're going to eject them as well. And there's the ball thrown in. And you see the reaction from the bench yet. Nothing yet. Lepovi steps off the bench onto the floor. He's made the step. He's now going to step back, though. You've got another trainer coming in as well. Lepovi being pulled back onto the floor. Octavius Ellis has stepped onto the floor as well. You've got more coaching staff coming onto the floor. Octavius Ellis is the only player who shouldn't be on the floor who stepped in. I wonder if that will cause any issues for him. This really is a video to unpick for the FIBA officials here in Patras. All stemmed from a silly action, really, from Robertson. He had the foul called. He was heading to the line for 2 shots. And now he's launched the ball in the face. It really has caused a bit of a melee that will need deciphering by the officials. If any ejections are handed out, though, it will impact disciplinary actions as well. You have to wait and see, though, I think, what the disciplinary actions will be, whether there'll be any suspensions for players or not. It looks like the officials want to see more replays. They want to make sure they get it exactly right. There's the original foul, which is a nice, clear, easy foul. That would have sent Robertson to the line for 2 shots to finish the game out. But here's Robertson's reaction. Just launches the ball into Cyrillus' face from, well, less than a metre away. Cyrillus doesn't really react massively instantly, but then Robertson goes up and says some more words and throws his arms into his chest. Cyrillus just puts his arms up. You have to give some credit to Cyrillus. Initially, he doesn't overly confront it. Then Rion Brown comes in and raises the temperature a little bit with some silly actions as well. Just defending his teammate, though. Passions do run high, but shouldn't have stepped in. Still waiting to see what the officials, how the officials unpick this one. It's one of those situations, as a fan, if you're a neutral, you really don't envy the officials. Trying to pick your way through the videotape and make the right decisions for each of the players involved, because ultimately pretty much all 10 players on the floor came together. No real aggression from any of the players, just a little bit of scuffling, more the shoving and shouting than anything else. But you do have to look at both benches as well, I think, to check if any players stepped into play from either of the benches, because that will have implications as well that will be needing some kind of resolution. So there's the original foul by Cyrillus, and there's Robertson's crazy reaction to the foul. And I know from my playing days, a basketball launched at you from that distance, it certainly does hurt. You certainly know you've been hit with one. I won't say that I didn't deserve the ball being thrown at me, because I probably did. But it still hurts, and it's still not necessarily the right thing for the opposition player to do. But here the referees, you can see they're picking their way through, making notes on exactly what their decisions are, and it's important they get it right, because the implications could be beyond this game. This game's obviously decided. Promitheas currently lead 95-78. There's no time left on the clock, so Bayreuth have lost this game, and Promitheas have taken the win. But the score difference is important for one. If we have a tied situation at the end of this group stage, it could make or break people making it through to the playoffs or not. And if there's further disciplinary action to be taken, this could see players missing future games, which obviously will have massive implications and ramifications for both of these teams and other teams as well, remember. So we still wait to see what the outcome is here. It looks like the official has his piece of paper. I think he's ready to start making some hand signals to the table to signify exactly what the situation is. But the officiating crew have had a great game here tonight. They've really policed this game wonderfully. Let's see how they resolve this situation. And they just need to make sure that they get all of the decisions right. And obviously the players are kept courtside waiting for the resolution. It looks like 0.6 seconds have been put back on the game clock. They're claiming that's when the original foul by Sir Ellis was committed. That's the foul on Robertson, which is going to send Robertson to the line for 2 shots minimum. If it's an unsportsmanlike foul, it will send him to 2 shots, and Bayreuth will get whatever time is left on the clock, which is currently being adjusted. It's now sitting at 0.5 seconds. So Bayreuth might get another shot as well if it's unsportsmanlike foul. If not, then it will send Robertson to the line for 2 shots, and Promitheas potentially could get possession back. However, if there's technical foul, which you presume there's going to be called on Robertson, that's going to give Promitheas at least 1 free throw. If not more, we'll have to wait to see how the officials interpret that action from Robertson throwing the ball into the face of Sir Ellis. Then they'll have to look and see if they want to take any action against any of the other players. You had Rion Brown running in, not necessarily getting heavily involved, but Tavius Ellis left the bench to come into the kind of huddle of players that were on court. Lepovi probably took a step or 2 over the line and then got dragged back into the bench area. Are they going to do something about that with regards to the Promitheas players? Obviously, we didn't see the Bayreuth players. We haven't seen replays of their bench area, so we don't know if any of their players stepped onto the floor or not. So we need to see exactly what the officials are going to call. At the moment, they're discussing it with the commissioner on the officials' table. He really is there to make sure that the rulebook is applied as perfectly as possible. And the players are just waiting for this to be resolved now. All down to a silly action from that man in the background, Cassius Robertson. I understand his frustration. He's had quite a poor game by his standards. He's had a standout year for Bayreuth in the Basketball Champions League, and it took him to the second half to get any points on the board in this game. So I understand he's frustrated with himself. You know, you can, as a player, you want to perform to your height. Looks like we've got some decisions now, so let's jump back into this. Oh, we've jumped away, so we're not going to see what the call is. 25 is called for the unsportsmanlike foul. So that's going to be Rion Brown. And a technical foul as well. I'm not sure if that's an ejection or not. We'll have to wait for this all to come through on the systems. As the players just staying courtside. Yeah, as you'd expect, Cassius Robertson has been disqualified from the game. And you have a feeling that will come with a suspension as well. And so Ellis' foul has been judged as an unsportsmanlike foul. So they're saying his foul was overly aggressive. So Robertson is going to have to leave. And they're the two fouls that they're calling. Looks like. So Bastian Dorit is going to take the free throws that were awarded to Cassius Robertson, because obviously Robertson has been ejected from the game. I think this will mean Bayreuth will get possession as well. But I have a feeling surely Promitheas will be given free throws as well for the ejection of Robertson. So that's the first two for the original foul. Here's additional ones for, I presume, a technical foul that's been awarded to someone. And here's the extra one. As you can see, there's confusion in the arena at the moment. It was a bench technical that was awarded against Promitheas. So that's why the extra shots are there, and the extra shot for the unsportsmanlike foul as well. And now Bayreuth will get the ball in. They'll just run the clock out, and that's a smart move really by Bayreuth. There's no point in exacerbating the situation. They just get the inbound, hold on to it, run the clock out. And what a sad way to finish what has been a wonderful Basketball Champions League game here in Patras. Promitheas Patras take the win 95-83 over medi Bayreuth. A little bit of a sour taste at the end there with the reaction from Cassius Robertson. But overall, a wonderful game of basketball. Nip and tuck all the way through. Promitheas Patras come away with the 12-point win, and an absolutely critical win that is for them. That puts them up to second in Group D here in the Basketball Champions League. 7 wins, 3 losses. For Bayreuth, they wait to see where that will put them. That moves them to a 4-win, 6-loss record. It could potentially drop them down to 6th place, or they might hold on to their 5th spot. But Promitheas will be happy with their night's work. That man Rion Brown with a huge night, 31 points, and the efficiency is unbelievable. 14 from 19 from the field for Rion Brown. He continues to astound crowds around Europe, that's for sure. Damon Brooks led the scoring for medi Bayreuth with 19 points and 6 boards. But it's back to the drawing board for medi Bayreuth. And onwards and upwards for Promitheas Patras as they really put one foot into the playoff places. Close to securing that playoff spot. Here are your statistics. There's a shooting, unbelievable shooting, except for free throws for Promitheas. 56% from the perimeter is a great effort. Medi Bayreuth will be disappointed that they couldn't make their control of the rebounding battle pay bigger dividends for them. They did dominate the boards in this game, but they didn't make it count for enough. And the home crowd will be enjoying the win. There's your leaders. As I said, Brown with 31, Brooks with 19, 6 boards for Ellis, 6 boards for Seifert. Gikas with 11 assists, also 5 steals. That's a big night for Nikos Gikas. And here are your top scorers. Ellis with 18, Lepovi 13 for Promitheas, Dorit 14, Seifert with 14 for Bayreuth as well. But an interesting game we've had here in Patras. A high-scoring first quarter. Got a bit cagier in the second quarter. The third and fourth quarter opened up a little bit more and ended with that controversy at the end of the game, with the game already secured by Promitheas Patras. Coach Raul Corner for medi Bayreuth called the timeout to tell his team that the score mattered, that they needed to try and keep the gap as close as they possibly could. So Cassius Robertson, with 2-3 seconds left on the clock, tried to go coast to coast, strong to the basket. He was fouled hard, to be fair, by Sayar Ellis. from Promitheas. He took exception to the ferocity of the foul by Syed Ellis and threw the ball in his face. That got him ejected from the game, and we wait to see if that will cause a future suspension for Cassius Robertson. So the game really finished from the free throw line, with Dorit converting free throws from the free throw line, which brought the game back to 12 points. But ultimately, Promitheas Patras will be happy. They've got another win to their name, 95 to 83. But they do have to thank Rion Brown once again. A huge 31 points for him. Alongside that, the performance of Nikos Gikas, a double-double, 10 points, 11 assists. Octavius Ellis, also 18 points, 6 rebound game for him. Kasalakis with 13, Lopovi with 13. A great team effort from Promitheas. However, for medi Bayreuth, only 3 players in double digits. Damon Brooks led the way, 19 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals. Bastian Dorit with 14 points, 5 assists, and Andreas Seifert with 14 points and 6 rebounds. They're their leading scorers. But that is the end of game day 10 here in Patras. medi Bayreuth now, they'll look ahead. Their next game next Wednesday will be against top of the table Virtus Bologna. That's back in Bayreuth though, and that really is a huge game for them, a must win for Promitheas Patras. Besiktas is next up. They're on the road next Tuesday as they face off against Besiktas, and a win there could potentially secure them a playoff place in their first ever season in European basketball action. But another great game here this evening for Promitheas Patras, and that man there, Rion Brown, with 31 points. But Promitheas take this one 95-83 over medi Bayreuth. That's how the table looks at the moment. Promitheas Patras actually go top of the table shortly. You'd imagine Bologna would be favourites as they're playing Petrol Olympia shortly. Their game will tip off there. For medi Bayreuth, they drop down to 6th place, a 4-win, 6-loss record, and their chances of progression to the Basketball Champions League postseason are hanging in the balance now. They really have got a big 4 games ahead of them if they're to make it through. Thank you for joining me, and the final score here is Promitheas Patras 95, medi Bayreuth 83.